In the heart of the mist-covered moors stood Ravenswood Manor, a decrepit mansion cloaked in mystery and whispered tales of horror. Its dark silhouette against the moonlit sky sent shivers down the spines of those who dared to gaze upon it. The locals spoke of curses of restless spirits, and of the unspeakable evils that lurked within its walls. These were not merely legends but real accounts of terror that had plagued the surrounding village for centuries. The story began with the tragic tale of the Ravenswood family, who had once been the wealthiest and most respected in the land. But their prosperity came at a terrible price. It was said that generations ago, the patriarch of the family, Lord Nathaniel Ravenswood, made a pact with dark forces in exchange for power and riches. From that day forth, the curse of Ravenswood Manor was born. As the years passed, the curse took its toll on the family, bringing madness, death, and despair. The once grand estate fell into ruin, its halls echoing with the anguished cries of the tormented souls trapped within. Locals avoided the place like the plague, fearing the wrath of the malevolent spirits that roamed its halls. But despite the warnings, there were always those foolish enough to test fate. One such group was a team of paranormal investigators who had heard tales of Ravenswood Manor and sought to uncover the truth behind its dark legend. The team consisted of 4 members: Dr. Elizabeth Hartley, a renowned psychic medium with a gift for communicating with the dead; Professor Samuel Blackwood, an expert in occult history and ancient rituals; Emily and Marcus Carter, siblings and seasoned investigators who had dedicated their lives to unraveling the mysteries of the supernatural. Armed with their knowledge and equipment, the team ventured into the depths of Ravenswood Manor, their hearts pounding with anticipation and fear. The air was heavy with the scent of decay as they stepped over the threshold, their footsteps echoing in the empty halls. Dr. Hartley closed her eyes, allowing her senses to guide her as she reached out to the spirits that lingered within. "They're here," she whispered, her voice barely audible above the eerie silence. "Restless souls trapped between the worlds of the living and the dead." Professor Blackwood nodded, his gaze sweeping over the decaying surroundings. "We must proceed with caution," he warned. "The spirits here are powerful, and they will stop at nothing to protect their domain." As they delved deeper into the manor, they encountered strange phenomena at every turn. Shadowy figures darted in and out of sight. Whispers echoed through the halls, and the temperature plummeted to bone-chilling lows. But the team pressed on, driven by their determination to uncover the truth. Their investigation led them to the heart of the manor, where they discovered a hidden chamber concealed behind a tapestry adorned with sinister symbols. Within the chamber lay a tome bound in ancient leather, its pages filled with arcane writings and forbidden knowledge. Emily's hands trembled as she reached out to touch the book, her fingers tracing the faded runes etched into its surface. "This must be the key to unlocking the curse," she breathed, her voice barely above a whisper. But before they could delve further, a chilling wind swept through the chamber, extinguishing their lanterns and plunging them into darkness. Panic gripped the team as they groped blindly in the blackness, their hearts pounding with fear. Suddenly, a voice echoed through the darkness, cold and malevolent. "You dare to defile this sacred place," it hissed, sending shivers down their spines. Dr. Hartley's voice quavered as she called out to the spirits. "We mean no harm," she pleaded, her words echoing in the void. "We seek only to break the curse that binds you to this place." But the spirits were not appeased. With a deafening roar, they descended upon the intruders, their icy touch draining the warmth from their bodies. Emily screamed as she felt herself being pulled into the abyss, her brother Marcus reaching out in vain to save her. Desperate, Professor Blackwood seized the tome and began to chant the incantations inscribed within, his voice rising above the cacophony of screams and wails. With each word, the darkness began to recede, and the spirits faltered, their ethereal forms flickering like dying embers. At last, the curse was broken, and Ravenswood Manor fell silent once more. But the price of their victory had been high, for Emily was lost to the darkness, her soul claimed by the vengeful spirits that dwelled within. As they emerged from the depths of the manor, the survivors vowed never to speak of the horrors they had witnessed. For Ravenswood Manor would forever remain a dark and cursed place, its secrets buried within its walls for all eternity. And though the team had broken the curse, they knew that some evils were better left undisturbed, lest they awaken once more to wreak havoc upon the world of the living. In the heart of the sprawling countryside stood Blackwood Manor, a grand estate with a history steeped in darkness. The manor had been in the Blackwood family for generations, but tales of tragedy and mystery clung to its walls like ivy. Many whispered of the spirits that roamed its halls, of the restless souls doomed to wander its grounds for eternity. The story began decades ago when the Blackwood family was at the height of its wealth and power. Jonathan Blackwood, the patriarch, was a ruthless man who stopped at nothing to expand his fortune. He built the manor upon the bones of those he had wronged, and it seemed that with each brick laid, the darkness within its walls grew deeper. As time passed, rumors spread of strange occurrences within the manor. Servants spoke of whispers in the night, of shadows that moved where there should be none. Some claimed to have seen the ghostly figures of past residents wandering the halls, their faces twisted in anguish. Despite the warnings, the Blackwoods remained steadfast in their determination to cling to their legacy. But as the years went by, tragedy struck the family with a vengeance. Jonathan's only son, Thomas, perished under mysterious circumstances, his body found lifeless at the foot of the grand staircase. From that day forth, Blackwood Manor became a place of fear and superstition. Many believed that Thomas's spirit still lingered within its walls, seeking vengeance for the wrongs done to him in life. Some said they heard his anguished cries echoing through the night, while others claimed to have seen his ghostly figure pacing the halls. As the decades passed, the manor fell into disrepair, its once grand facade now a crumbling monument to a cursed family. Few dared to venture near for fear of awakening the spirits that dwelled within. It was on a dark and stormy night that the tale of Blackwood Manor took a new turn. A group of friends, drawn by the allure of the macabre, decided to spend the night within its haunted halls. Ignoring the warnings of locals, they made their way through the overgrown gardens and up the winding path to the front doors. The moment they stepped inside, they were enveloped in an oppressive silence, broken only by the creaking of the floorboards beneath their feet. The air was heavy with the scent of decay, and a chill ran down their spines as they made their way deeper into the manor. They explored room after room, their footsteps echoing through the empty corridors. Each corner seemed to hold a new horror, from paintings that watched them with cold, dead eyes to mirrors that reflected twisted images of their own faces. As the night wore on, tensions ran high among the group. Shadows danced in the flickering candlelight, and strange noises echoed through the halls. They began to feel as though they were being watched, as though unseen eyes followed their every move. But it wasn't until they reached the grand ballroom that they encountered true terror. As they stepped into the vast chamber, they were greeted by the sound of ghostly music, the notes echoing through the empty space. And there, at the far end of the room, they saw him, the ghost of Thomas Blackwood himself, his spectral form bathed in an eerie light. Frozen in fear, they watched as Thomas's ghost beckoned them closer, his eyes burning with a malevolent fire. And then, with a sudden burst of movement, he lunged towards them, his ghostly form passing through their own with a chill that seemed to reach into their very souls. With screams of terror, they fled from the manor, their minds reeling from the horrors they had witnessed. And as they made their way back down the winding path, they vowed never to return to Blackwood Manor again. But even now, as the years have passed and the story of that fateful night has become legend, Blackwood Manor remains a place of darkness and despair. Its halls are haunted by the ghosts of the past, their anguished cries echoing through the night, a reminder of the horrors that lie within. And though many have tried to unravel the mysteries of the manor, none have succeeded, for Blackwood Manor guards its secrets well, and those who dare to enter its halls do so at their own peril.